Hi and welcome to part 2 of our Roccat coverage at CeBIT 2012. I'm back with Rene, who is the CEO and founder of the company. Rene, we've seen the Savu mouse already, but your big announcement for this show is this. It's called the Power-Grid, and we've seen the demo just now. It's really interesting. First, explain to us how you came about this idea.
Okay. Yeah, we are like 4 to 5 years now in building PC gaming equipment. And with all this talk lately, we have seen like a lot of smartphone or iPad technology being adapted to computers, being adapted to peripherals. So we thought this is like a very expensive kind of thing, because being a builder by ourselves, we know how much a component costs and what gamers really can afford in order to buy good products. So buying our competitors' products like keyboards with huge displays, you have to pay for the displays. If you buy keyboards with integrated displays, for example, or laptops with integrated displays, you always have to pay extra. So we thought, why not using one of our best pieces we bought? We invested a lot of money, which are basically our smartphones. So most of the people in Roccat, which love PC gaming, which use keyboard and mouse the whole day, doesn't complain about PC gaming at all, they wanted to have this kind of being an integrated part of their daily life, not only for working, but especially for gaming. And since we are a gaming company, we thought about why not using advantage about all these kind of things, and we developed a technology which is called Power-Grid. Power-Grid consists of this kind of application which runs on smartphone, and a host application which is called the Roccat Power-Grid launcher, which runs on your PC, and this is responsible for having a constant communication between PC and smartphone.
Okay, so it connects to the PC through wireless.
Yes.
And it's basically a companion to a PC designed for gaming. So it's used to control gaming functions from your phone. So let's have a live demonstration and see how some of these functions work.
Very good. So everything started with the idea of the problem we had, being in a game, but being at the same time like spammed from so many different channels, people trying to talk to you. This can be Skype, this can be Facebook, this can be TeamSpeak messages, TeamSpeak voice, whatever, name it. There's so many chat clients today where people try to send you messages. So whenever you're in a game, in a raid, if you're having an LOL fight, you need to have some kind of what we call incoming center, where all messages are like centralized to decide by yourself, is this something important to me? Like, this is my mom telling me to do my homework, or maybe my girlfriend waiting downstairs at the door not coming in, or is this my teammate like telling me he's been disconnected from the server? These kind of things we want to centralize. So this is basically the whole app idea started with this. And what you can see over here is like, you can see all these messages incoming, and if you're only interested in Facebook messages, for example, you just tap it. You're also able to hide certain messages, so if you only want to see TeamSpeak, like who is talking to me right now in TeamSpeak, then you can also just limit it to TeamSpeak messages, and you will see it's very easy. And whenever you press on a message, it will lead you also directly to Windows when you decide that this is something very interesting to talk about. So you just press Skype, it will bring you to the Windows desktop, and then you can answer very easily.
Okay, so the incoming center is basically an aggregation feed of everything that's going on in the background in your PC. So Twitter, Facebook, RSS feeds as well.
Even if you want to have CPU, temperature, these kind of things, you can also push into the incoming center.
Okay, so that's the basic home screen, but there's a fair bit beyond that. So take us to the next tab.
The idea after this was, if we are able to have all these messages incoming, why not have this PC health kind of status messages coming in? That's why we built this system stats monitor. So what you can see over here is all the CPUs. There's not much going on, so I try to increase a little bit. So you can see, what are my CPU cores doing? How's the temperature? How's the memory loadage? You know, a lot of people playing games and don't know why it feels so laggy. You know, and this is basically the application. If you have this open, you know it's a memory problem, could be a CPU problem, could be a hard drive problem, these kind of things. You have the net usage, like incoming, outgoing. Is my mom or my girlfriend also using the connection for torrents, whatever they do today? So you can see it's not only me playing Counter-Strike, but somebody else is trying to move heavy traffic over my line. You can see the hard drive status, for example. You can see if I download a map pack, what is the best place to put it, install it directly. So this can be like stopwatches, timer kind of things. If you want to put a pizza in an oven, you will make yourself a pizza timer. You can easily time these kind of things.
Okay, so you've got the basic utilities. Now the next tab is my favorite, is the sound control. So let's have a look at this.
The sound control, as you said, is also something very important to a gamer in being in a game. It's not only because of, playing my favorite music. Like you can see over here, it's like this is connected to media player. You can go forward, move forward. You can also mute this kind of music. It's no problem to increase to move forward in the song. So if you skip to the next song, for example, you can also like move forward a little bit. But it's also interesting to change the sound level. So, but it's the most important, or the most nicest thing is basically, is not to change the sound level for the master sound, but it's very important to see all your application sound level. So what you can basically do, and there's something I can show when we jump into a game like Skyrim. Skyrim will pop up over here, and you have the option to change the sound for every application.
Great. Okay. Now your business model on this is actually going to be, thank you for muting it, is going to be interesting. So the app itself is going to be free.
Yes.
But you're going to offer customizable tabs
Right.
at an additional cost.
Right. Really fun to gamers is always about customization. So we have one custom tab, and what I show over here is just one we built for this exhibition. So just follow it. If I want to go to YouTube, for example, you can see immediately on the website that he will open YouTube. This is the internet whistle slot, or you want to go to Google, you see it's very fast. If you want to open Word, for example, Word just opens, so you see it's hyper responsive.
Yeah, so
we're
it is
not
wireless,
talking about we're not talking about something
that
takes 4 hours. But to really demonstrate this to you is I will start a game which is called Skyrim. Maybe a lot of people know about this, so we will jump directly into Skyrim. And what I want to show you is the basic power becomes if you're able to build your own grid for games. So what you can see over here, and this is what you talk about business model is, you can buy additional tabs. You have one tab for free, but you can buy additional tabs and make your own Skyrim tab. So we made our own Skyrim tab. So Skyrim is loading. As you can see over here, you see CPU performance is going up while it's loading, memory is going up. And what we do is a very basic thing. So it's not very complicated. You can also do by a keyboard, but just in terms of demonstration how fast it is. So if you want to change to a sword, for example, you see him immediately showing like flames. He changes to flames, sparkles, heal, go to his inventory.
Yep.
Like see the map. So things very easy.
And how do people create these macros? Would they do it on the desktop software or within the app itself?
It's done on the host side. So whenever we want to go here, you can see over here. This is our very powerful Roccat Grid launcher. So you will have all this kind of. This is basically called the grid. We have tabs, and the grid consists of control blocks. The control blocks you can pick from a list, existing control blocks. So you can also combine incoming system.sound control to your perfect grid if you want.
Okay, so this grid here is completely customizable, drag and drop, and you can change it how you want.
Drag this just in, and then just press service started, and it will transmit it to your phone, and your phone will be the perfect display for the grid you made by yourself.
Excellent. Okay, it's a really interesting idea. Talking about where this is heading in the future, at the moment it's going to launch on iOS only.
Mm-hmm.
What about Android and what about Windows Phone?
So we started with the most common platform, which is iOS basically. We will have a client ready for Gamescom for Android, and depends on how Windows Phone is developing. But I'm very sure with Windows 8, latest with Windows 8, we will also have a Windows client for our application. Tablets is also something which gets more and more interesting. All people we're talking about ask us for tablets. The tablet penetration within gaming is not that high, but you see, following the grid kind of concept, we just need to make the grid better. So we have the biggest flexibility you can have. So if we decide one day to go to a tab, iPad for example, or to a Samsung Galaxy tab, it's very easy to, let's say, scale this kind of system to a bigger platform.
Yes. Okay, now we've seen the Power-Grid on the iOS phone here on a normal dock, but you've actually got something a bit more elaborate in the pipeline as well. You're going to be building peripherals with docks built in.
Right. Yes. So the products we already introduced on our Roccat website today is called the Phobo. The Phobo basically is something we always wanted to have. We wanted to build something where there's no reason on earth you need to plug off your smartphone. So it should be there every time. So this means also you need to be capable of writing on your smartphone, but you also need to be capable of taking calls. So if somebody calls you, for example, if somebody calls you on the phone, you should be able to take this with your gaming headset. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to. Hast du das jetzt gewechselt?
Ja.
Warum machst du das?
Weil es noch nicht drin ist.
You should be able to take phone calls with your headset, with your gaming headset, so you're not interrupted in a game. You can easily talk. Even for working, it's perfect because most of the people don't know where to put their smartphone, where to charge it. Charging is already a problem, but basically most of the people only charge the smartphone, they don't use it. So this will be the first time you can really get use out of it also in your office environment. So most of the graphic designers in Roccat already use this kind of application, the Apuri, to also control their Photoshop or to control their InDesign. So it's very flexible wherever you create something with it.
Excellent. Okay, Rene, thanks very much for the demonstration.
Yes. You're welcome.
That is the new Roccat Power-Grid, so stay tuned for more.